In this video, I'd like to show you around Cerf Island. At the moment, I'm on Eden Island, a small artificial satellite island that's next to Mahé, which is close to Cerf Island, and we're about to take the boat over. It's just a short trip, 5 minutes or so, and Dave is going to take us there. Cerf Island is just 1 square kilometre in size, and there are only about 10 small hotels and guest houses on the island. The very first thing that you notice about the island is its incredibly peaceful atmosphere. There are no cars, no mopeds, no roads, and no supermarkets here. I just arrived here from Eden Island thanks to the free water taxi, which makes the return journey 3 or 4 times each day. As I said, here on Cerf Island there are no supermarkets, just a couple of beach restaurants. That said, you can easily get everything you need on Mahé or Eden Island, where there are supermarkets, restaurants, banks, bars and bakeries just around the corner from the jetty. I've walked about 200 metres northeast of the pier on Cerf Island, and everything you hear about the island so far is ringing true. The northeastern coast of Cerf is lovely and sandy, although the view over to Mahé is slightly ruined. Look, here's the capital behind these wind turbines. The view of the Indian Ocean, however, is much better and completely clear.
Cerf Island
is located in the St. Anne Marine Park, which is under close environmental protection. Anyone making the trip to Cerf should make sure they don't miss out on the colourful underwater world of the marine park, and don't forget to visit some of the other small islands here if you get a chance. Over the last few years, I've had nothing but good experiences with the boat skipper James. James lives on Cerf Island and can easily be booked from any of the island's accommodations. I really couldn't recommend him any more highly. Book a trip around the marine park with him. He knows all of the best places to go snorkeling, where all the fish swim, and he'll also land on deserted beaches on uninhabited islands where the larger tour guides usually don't go. Today, James has brought us to Mahé Island, a small island with a well-trodden path that circles the coast and takes about 45 minutes to walk around. There's so much to see here, over 120 giant tortoises, a museum, a tortoise cemetery, and 2 absolutely fantastic beaches. One of these is the so-called Pirates Cove, and the other is called Coral Cove. We'd have loved to have had a bit longer here, but unfortunately we had other things to do. That said, we still found time to take a dip in the sea, and it was really incredible. This here is the cemetery on Mahé Island, and it's got to be one of the smallest in the whole world. There are just 4 graves here, including this one on the right-hand side, which is the newest one and dates back to 2012. Brendan Grimshaw is buried here, and Brendan owned Mahé Island for 35 years up until his death. In his will, he decreed that following his passing, no more building work would be allowed on the island. On the journey back to Cerf Island, we happened upon this little beach here, and saw this man clearing it of seaweed. He explained to us that you're not actually allowed to clear away the seaweed too often, which is why you can sometimes see seaweed on Cerf Island beaches. Of course, after clearing the beach, the sand might look much more appealing, but unfortunately you also take away important natural resources from the local animal life, such as baby tortoises, small hermit crabs, and fish. In fact, the presence of seaweed here actually suggests that the underwater world just offshore from the beach is thriving. The man made some good parallels between the Seychelles and the Borneo rainforest, which was flattened for its wood. This took away the homes and the habitats of the local orangutans, and taking the seaweed from the crabs and tortoises on Cerf Island is really the same thing. As with elsewhere on the Seychelles, Cerf Island has started to feel the impact of rising sea levels over the last few years, and nowadays people use sandbags to keep the tide at bay. There was a second, more drastic plan drawn up, where they wanted to build a huge seawall to separate the ocean from the island. I've seen the architectural plans myself, and I can safely say I'm really happy the locals decided to use a more nature-friendly solution in the end. At the moment, I'm heading south on Cerf Island, along the beach, and I just came across this small church here. Let me show you around. There are a number of different legends and rumours surrounding the church. Some people say there's a hidden treasure under the church, and that treasure hunters built the building to hide their loot. James, the skipper from earlier, swears that it was his own grandfather who built it. Whatever the case, these days the church is occasionally used by the 20 or so inhabitants of Cerf Island for the odd Sunday Mass, as well as for marriages and funerals.
Genauso wie für Hochzeiten oder für Beerdigungen.
I'm heading further south now. I've almost reached the south coast of the island, and behind me here you can see the stunning Île Cachée, or Hidden Island. And look here at this sensational house, right on the beach, overhanging the water. It's incredible. It's called La Forteresse, and it's one of the oldest accommodations on the island, and certainly one of the more spectacularly located accommodations in the Seychelles, so I really recommend renting it. So I'm still on Cerf Island, and I just came across this little arrow here. It's really easy to miss, so if you want to find it, it's between the church and La Forteresse. It points the way to a small island path that takes about half an hour to navigate, and it will take you across the island to the opposite side. As with everywhere else in the Seychelles, there are a lot of coconuts on Cerf Island, including green ones, and as you can see behind me, there's yellow ones. Let me just take one down. Despite its colour, the Creole name for this is the coco rouge, which translates as red coconut. The green coconut is called the coco vert. If you have a look here, you can see that the view of Mahé's silhouette is particularly good from Cerf Island. Sometimes in the Seychelles there are rain showers which can even completely hide the island from view, but thankfully today it's quite clear, so we can see the so-called Trois Frères landscape. The Trois Frères refers to these three mountains standing next to each other, the Three Brothers. That said, they're usually 95% covered in cloud, making them quite hard to spot a lot of the time. Unfortunately, my time here on Cerf Island is up, and it all went away too quickly. I just wanted to leave you with a stunning image to take away with you, and I hope I've found one here with this spectacular sunset over the ocean.